Hello, everybody. Welcome to Illuminate the Darkness with Rosie. We're going to go over the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. The first quarter moon is about action, challenge, overcoming obstacles, forwarding yourself. So we are in a period of growth at the moment, working towards the next full moon, which is next week. We just started our new moon, got a fresh slate. So now it's time to evaluate our progress and make changes and decisions that are going to further you and push you further. Full moon is like time of harvest and like reaping all these benefits. So right now you're planting those seeds, and throughout this next week you're working on those goals. So push through these difficult times to focus on your goals. Like, this is going to be the time that challenges us the most. It's going to be the most conflict one. So it's testing us to see if we really are aligning ourselves how we're saying, and if we are showing with our actions more than our words. So our nervous system, when it's constantly in overdrive, it's just like, rah, to all these little things. And whenever we're not able to approach these things in a calm mindset, we're acting in fight or flight mode. And sometimes that can make rash decisions and make us be, what's the word? Like, back and forth, indecisive, and I can't think of it right now. But trying to push back, because it's blockages. It's something trying to hold you back, trying to make you repeat the cycles. Once you see those things, recognize it for what it is and say, oh, this is my test. This is where I'm meeting this challenge, and think of different ways to overcome it than your normal approach. So this time encourages perseverance and proactive approaches. And whenever you do this, it just aligns you to achieve success. So whenever we are disciplined within ourselves, it's not about anybody else. It's about the benefits that we get from that, because our actions and how we move are going to change our lives and how people see us. It's just about, how you shine your light on the world and how you influence others. Because you could take the same situation. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced, like, watching a video or anything like that where somebody has, like, played out the same situation, but the way they entered the room was different each time, and how they had their energy and yada yada. And so it changed how the other people were feeling and responding. So it was showing how much of an influence just you are on the room. Even if you're just holding within yourself and being quiet and going and sitting in the corner and thinking that you're not bothering anybody else, you're still influencing everybody else around you. And then most people are very sensitive, so you're going to trigger them more because they're going to know there's something wrong with you. So it's going to bother them even more that they want to bring that out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have that natural, like, that's probably why they trigger you more, yada yada, because we want to bring that out of each other. It's something that people used to do in tribes and communities and stuff like that. They would have whole gatherings of, like, shamanic dances and different things like that to free spirits and free their bodies. So, like, you gotta think, they say breath is life, and every time we breathe, we're breathing in life. So that means that the more that we breathe, the more cells that we're opening up to life, which in essence is opening up each cell to spirit. So then it's cool to open yourself up to spirit, but you also want to keep that energy flowing to where that spirit can also release and keep recycling and repeating. Because otherwise, we're holding on to that and it's like trapped energy within you. So, you know, every breath that we take is the same air that our ancestors have breathed before. So, it's same with the water. It has all been recycled throughout history, and there has not been a breath of air that you have taken that has not been in somebody else's body before. So that's information you can live with now. All right, I'll stop rambling. I'm sorry. All right, Sagittarius moon is the need for communication, learning, and travel. It encourages you to seek new experiences and expand your horizons. Sagittarius encourages physical activities and allows you to break free from the monetary routine of your life. Breathe fresh air into your life. So, Sagittarius is on the go. They want to experience new things. They travel, very adventurous, and they like to be physical. So, during this time, you might have these sparks of energy to want to physically exercise. Get out there and take advantage of that energy. And whenever you physically exercise, you'll feel it within your body and how much of a difference it actually makes for you. And maybe it'll be something that you try to incorporate further. But this will be your best time to get it going. It's the momentum that you need to roll that ball. And then whenever you do that, you can actually, again, utilize the energy to gain momentum from it. So during this time, you also might have an amplified sense of justice and a willingness to stand up for your beliefs. So around this time, like 2 days ago, I think it was the 29th or the 28th, it was MLK Jr. had his March on Washington. And it was so funny because, like, I just so happened to be talking about him not that long ago. It was like a week or so ago. And then right afterwards, I seen a paper at work about how it was a time in history of, the march. And it's like, just so happened that energy was in the air and I picked that up. And then it had it was around the time, you know what I'm saying? So it's really cool how that works. You might have that feeling right now, where you're watching all this craziness going on around you and you're not sure how it's going to work out or sure what's going on for real. And it's like, hold strong and know what you believe in and show that throughout the world and reflect that. Teach others, because a lot of people don't have guidance right now. And even though people try to guide and lead their kids, a lot of kids in the school systems are just like, it's impossible to give them what they need in that system. So be the light, even if they aren't your child. Okay, stand up for everybody, lead everybody. And again, just make your changes to enhance your well-being. All right, I'll stop rambling. Let's do our cards. My daughter is a Sagittarius, and I am a Scorpio. Something very interesting, Sagittarius is represented by the archer, and he shoots his bow. He's a centaur, half horse, half human. And where he shoots his bow is a star, and it is the heart of the Scorpio. Heart of the Scorpion. Very interesting. Alright, so whenever I do these cards, I just want to ask the universe what kind of energy it is bringing us, what kind of messages it wants to tell us, what we need to know to stay on track. We always work with the light here and be as positive as we absolutely can. Any negativity is just to teach you to let go and move forward. And not everything is meant to be forever. Alright, one more. Alright, we got the Two of Wands in reverse. Ten of Cups. Five of Wands in reverse. Okay, let's check it out. Alright, so Two of Wands in reverse can stand for business, creative, and financial problems. So people that are involved with this can be very egotistical. They can be successful and even intelligent, but they lack the ability to adapt and see other people's perspectives. And they may even be unable to enjoy success. They just keep wanting more, filling this void. And sometimes that can make things seem very hollow and meaningless, and just continue this cycle of like chasing and just filling this void and it just going nowhere. So this may be an ending of partnerships, career, and even ways of getting money, and delays in transactions, expenses, maybe like unexpected expenses or misfortunes that happen that cost a little bit more than you expect. And again, this has to deal with somebody that's usually very egotistical, and they're not seeing how they're causing the issues. But then we get the Ten of Cups next, and the Ten of Cups actually means lasting happiness, dreams come true, abundant joy, growth in relationships, and valuable friendships, inner satisfaction and self-love, and success in your events. So, the Two of Wands, you might have these problems, and then you come out to the Ten of Cups, and it's talking about how it's going to work in your favor. Then we get to the Five of Wands, and this is actually also about maybe you're having disputes with legally, or like with somebody that is not dealing with their anger in a good way. Maybe they have conflict, like inner conflict and the inability to reach decisions, and because they hold in this conflict and they're not dealing with it correctly, they're showing a lot of anger. When they repress that anger, it just comes out as outburst, and they're not communicating right. And during this time, again, the Sagittarius moon is wanting you to communicate. It's wanting you to open that up and learn how to express yourselves and let that out. And then also see other sides of things. That's where the adventurous part comes in. You're seeing other perspectives by traveling and going around the world and seeing other people in the way they live. You can't travel the world and have a negative viewpoint against everybody around and then expect that to go well, because you got to learn how to adapt to their world. Otherwise probably not gonna go well for you. But anyways, the Five of Wands can also mean victory, and your struggles are almost over. This is also like a really fragile feeling time. So again, with the Sagittarius moon, it's with the first quarter moon especially, it's just testing you. It's it's trying to see if you're on your shit and to make this Ten of Cups happen. So it's saying that all these problems are happening to you financially, in your relationship, through the ways you make money, whatever, but you have to have faith over fear and overcome it to come out through victory. And then that also, through the victory, means that you have to get through the battles. You have to get through the obstacles. And it's just a part of your process. Alright. Hope you got something from that one. We'll do one card pull. This is the Black Moon astrology cards. Alright. Gemini. Communication is key. Be versatile and quick at this time. You must also be mindful because people are talking. Gemini is a charming sign full of whimsy and fun and is ruled by the planet Mercury, named after the Roman god of wit and winged thought. Geminis are chatty and their minds act like quicksilver. Geminis prefer to do things fast, not because they're boisterous, but because they become bored with anything tedious and not immediately fun. Words are everything to a Gemini. They adore books, but hardly ever read them entirely. What is more important to a Gemini is an exchange of ideas and communication. However, they like to discuss ideas, but tend to be poor listeners. Geminis are fascinated by their own thoughts rather than the ideas of others. As Geminis are curious about everything, they tend to be experts in the number of different topics. They also love stories and gossip. Those intelligent minds should always be fed, whether with gossipy tales or most erudite or philosophical pursuits. They like both. They usually have a small computer in their personal access to play games or access social media. This twin sign is one of the smartest in the entire zodiac. However, Geminis tend to be insecure in their views, so change their opinions often. Geminis are not very patient, thus may not enjoy school that much, yet they thrive when studying something they are truly interested and invested in. Geminis have a fickle sorry, and dull nature. They change their minds on a whim. What is true for them today may not be tomorrow. They get distracted easily and are highly nervous. A more appropriate word is flighty, so attention disorders can crop up. Sorry. It's like I mess up and then all of a sudden it's like a ballroom. A dual sign, many Geminis are left-handed, are ambidextrous. Geminis are extremely deft at making things with their hands. Gemini is the sign of the brain. They are always inventing and also the eyes of the nervous system. Gemini have clear, bright eyes that dart around and they have broad foreheads. They are forever youngful and they are all air. Geminis are light on their feet. They do have passion, but sometimes they can't find it. Even so, this is a most charming sign, and Geminis have many friends and easily attract romantic partners who share their sense of fun. When this card comes up, you may be the object of discussion, or you may have to talk your way out of a sticky situation. Since communication is key with Gemini, you may find yourself involved with new forms of technology that help spread your ideas to a wider audience. Such technology would include cameras, computers, tablets, and next inventions to come along. Writing may also figure in, such as creating a blog, writing books, or just being involved with books and publishing. You may find yourself either to be a skilled diplomat or asked to teach or give a speech. At the current time, you may find yourself to be highly strung, nervous, or excitable, as it is the nature of Gemini, but still able to figure it all out without a probing mind. It may feel as if you are riding a high wind of lofty energy. Multitasking may be required of you. Gemini is also a sign of soulmates, corresponding to the Lover's card in the tarot, so this card can indicate an important romantic relationship that started or will figure in shortly. But the bottom line with the Gemini card is this: words are important now, so use them wisely. Words will be imperative regarding the outcomes of this reading. So, again, it's about communication. And it talks about the planet for that one. I forgot to mention the planet for Sagittarius is Jupiter. So during this time with the moon, Jupiter can have strong influence on you too, and that is a sign of success, wealth, and materialistic gain. So again, get through these obstacles that we're going through, persevere and stick with your goals, and align yourself to stay in tune. Thanks for coming with me, friends. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Like, share, and subscribe, and then join me next week for the next reading, and get back with me. Bye.